This is Crew Talk, the podcast of Bombers CrossFit, where we build healthy humans. Here we talk about strength, discipline, mindset, community, real training, real nutrition, real results. If you're ready to level up inside and outside the gym, you're in the right place. Hey guys, thanks for joining us for another episode of Crew Talk, the official podcast for Bombers CrossFit, where we build healthy humans. And today we're talking about something that eventually is going to happen to everybody. What happens when your life changes, but your expectations for yourself don't? So our guest today went from college athletics to D2 track and field to CrossFit, and then eventually now she's navigating a life with 2 kids and a career and a marriage and all the logistics that come together with being an adult. So her biggest lesson that she's learned to date is stop comparing your current self to your pre-baby self. So let's talk about it. So Ashlyn, thanks for joining us on Crew Talk and sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start off. Give us a little background. Where'd you grow up? What was your family like? That kind of thing.
Okay. I grew up in Flint, Michigan. I have a older brother and a younger sister. Very sports-oriented family. Like I grew up, my sister and I both played travel volleyball and soccer, so it kept us pretty busy. But it led to a lot of other opportunities. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What did your parents do?
So my mom was a very good volleyball player, and she coached and played my whole childhood. She still coaches now. And my dad, he played pretty high-level softball, men's softball and basketball. I got my hops from him. Okay. He was the only white guy on the Flint men's basketball team, so if that tells you anything.
Yeah. So he's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and what did they do for a living?
So my dad, he worked at GM for a while. He also worked at a plant that made parts for Caterpillar. And then my mom worked as a mail carrier for 38 years.
Really?
She's tough.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Old school, like carrying the big bag and stuff?
So that's where she started. At least where she was, the new hires had to walk. Yeah. With the satchel, and her first route was on the north end of Flint, which, if you know anything about Flint, that's not where you want to be. So thankfully, she only had to do that for the first 3 years, and then she got a mounted route, which is the truck, and she really enjoyed her route after that. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. When I was a kid, I remember the mailman used to come through, and he had this great big bag that was over his shoulder, and man, he walked everywhere. I
mean, the dead of summer and the cold of winter, like. I don't know. She's tough.
Yeah. That's great. So you come from hardy stock.
I'd say so. Yeah.
So what about your brother and sister? Growing up, did you all play athletics or?
My brother is actually a golf pro.
Really?
He's in Arizona.
Okay.
So I mean, around here, there's no full-time golf pro things. Yes. So he's been out west for a while, but he's doing great. He mostly teaches now. He used to compete, and then he went over to teaching. And then my sister, she played collegiate volleyball as well. And now she works in IT pretty high up, and she lives out in Colorado.
Okay. Yep. All right. Are your parents still in Flint? Or
they're in a suburb, which is nicer because we moved out of Flint when I was in middle school, which was good because... and then I graduated from a town called Fenton, which is a nicer suburb. And then now my parents live in Birch Run, which is north. It's nicer. Okay.
All right. Do you guys so you're kind of spread out. Do you get together very often? Or?
That's been hard. Now that I'm a mom, like I feel bad for my mom that all her babies are quite spread out. Yeah. We really try to get home for Christmas. I drive up to Michigan at least every 1 to 2 months.
Because it's like, what, maybe 4 or 5 hours?
It's exactly 4.
Okay.
Straight up 75, very boring drive, which is probably a good thing. Yeah. So I get up there as much as I can. And then my mom is actually here right now. She's with the girls. We're hanging out this weekend. So we do our best. Yeah. But I can see that it's hard on them.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean,
as a parent, yeah.
Yeah, all our kids are local, and we won't move because of it. Because the kids and the grandkids are all here.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, and the grandkids still think I'm cool, so that won't last much longer.
I'm sure they will. You got to soak that up though, and like I don't know. As a mom, I have such a different perspective on things, and I used to think that parents moving to be with their kids was weird, but now I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, yeah. It's the most important thing in life. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, I learned that way too late in my life, but I learned it before I had grandkids, and so
That's good.
Yeah, my priorities changed.
I mean, it may sound cliche, but I don't think it's ever too late.
No, it's not. No, you've got days in front of you, and so you just have to take advantage of those. You can't worry about the ones behind you.
I know.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's easy to look back and have regrets. We all do, but.
Yeah. The greatest thing is, I was talking about this with my wife the other day, is watching I got to travel with my son and his family, and watching how he is as a dad. And I think to myself, he's so much better than I was, which makes me feel so good,
That is great, but that self-reflection is key, right? Like, we can't really grow without that.
Yeah, yeah. So, So let's talk a little bit more about your athletics. So you did travel volleyball?
And soccer as a kid. Soccer was my first love, which is kind of funny. And then I got into volleyball pretty easily because that was my mom's passion.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with it too. And my sister and I, I have vivid memories of us. In volleyball, there's something called pepper, where you go back and forth, where you pass, set, spike, back and forth.
Okay.
And so Olivia, my sister, we used to literally sit in our living room and sit on the ground, and we had such good ball control that we could all out swing at each other in the living room, right next to the TV.
Yeah, and not destroy the house.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. So.
And how tall are you?
I am 5'8".
Okay.
Which is pretty short in the volleyball world.
Yeah.
So I have to make up for it in other
ways. What about
ways.
your sister? Is she taller?
She's 5'8". We're both the same height. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard not to wish you were taller when you play a sport like that, but still have to be happy with what you have.
Yeah, exactly. Volleyball is a tough sport too.
It's a lot harder than people think. Like a lot of people, sand volleyball is a lot of fun, and people go out there and have fun, which I love. And they're like, "Oh, I like to play volleyball too." I'm like, "Okay,"
Yeah. You watch somebody dive for a ball on a hardwood court, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I'd do that.
But we learn how to do it, right?
Okay.
Like there's a way to do it to where, I'm sure you still get hurt sometimes, but there's a way to go about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's funny because even the way I learned how to dive in middle school and high school, it's now that I watch Division I volleyball all the time because I love it. They have a different strategy now, and that's 15, 20 years now. So in the last 20 years, they've actually changed how they dive, and it's really cool to watch. I wish I need to practice and teach my body how to do it because it's so different.
Yeah. So do you still play now, or?
I wish. It's been really hard.
Yeah.
As just the stage that I'm in, I make time for CrossFit, and that's about all I can do right now. Right. And then my husband travels a lot. When I was I was in grad school back home, I was able to live with my parents and save a lot of money. And I was super busy. I worked. I was in grad school. I CrossFit. I played volleyball. And thankfully back home, I know everybody in the volleyball world and the high level playing that we do. And there's like an invite only sand league in my hometown. And I would do that every summer, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then obviously I love indoor too because it's easier to jump. So I was doing that. And then when we moved in active duty, that was harder because I had to find the volleyball people, which I found people in Missouri, and I was able to play there. When we got to New Mexico, I found out that there's really, not a lot of competitive sports in general in New Mexico, but definitely no competitive volleyball.
Wow.
It was, I couldn't play there because it was all rec.
So let's go back. So you started college, and that's where you played team volleyball in college, or
track.
Oh, track. Okay.
Yep. So I originally went to Defiance, which is a small college. Played volleyball. Met my husband on the track team, which was awesome. And then it just got to be kind of small for both of us. So he transferred to Bowling Green, and that's when he started ROTC, Air Force.
Yep.
I transferred to Grand Valley State, which is one of the largest Division II colleges in the nation, really. And I didn't play volleyball there, but I walked onto the track team, and that was a really cool experience.
Now, what did he do in track and field?
Pole vault.
Pole vault. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was his passion. Yeah.
Wow, that's so impressive.
It's very cool.
Yeah. And what did you do on track and field?
100, 200, 400, 4x1, 4x2, 4x4, long jump, triple jump, high jump.
So everything.
Yeah, it was
Just
fun.
about, yeah.
It was fun. Not in every meet, obviously.
Yes.
But usually I would do 4 to 5 things in a meet, which was pretty busy. Yeah.
So who caught whose attention?
So it was a small college, small campus. I first met him kind of in passing in the dorms, because I think it was like men's floor, women's floor kind of thing. And initially it's all physical, right? Because you see them and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So that was the first interaction. And then, because volleyball was in the fall, and then we didn't start indoor track until, I don't know, around the holidays. So that's when we got to interact more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so both of you are passionate about sports, right?
Yeah.
So you just had that shared interest.
Yeah, definitely a shared interest. It felt very easy. And we would make ramen noodles in our dorm room, and we bonded over just simple stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Those are good memories.
It is. They're very good memories, yeah.
So then he moved on to ROTC, and so how close were your campuses then when you?
So Bowling Green to Grand Valley, it's at least 4 hours. It's not an easy drive, because Grand Valley was all the way on the west. Well, I'm breaking out my map here. Grand Valley is over here by Lake Michigan.
Okay.
So there's not really an easy way to get through to the west side from Bowling Green. So it's kind of crazy. We were only really together the first 4 or 5 months of our relationship, and then we were long distance from there.
Wow. Okay. But you stayed in touch the whole time. Okay.
Yep.
And tried to get together as much as you could? Or?
Yep. Pretty much.
Did your schools ever meet in meets, like track?
Unfortunately, Bowling Green doesn't have men's track.
Oh, okay.
They only have women's.
So what did he do
So
for athletics?
he was into ROCT, and they did training through that.
Okay.
So that was sad for him, because I think he wanted to still continue. But he chose this path, which it definitely was the right choice, because he's very much where he needs to be career-wise.
So when did you guys get married? Did you both graduate undergrad and get married?
So we graduated undergrad in 2000. I graduated in 2013. He didn't graduate until 2016, because he took a break to do his basic and technical school.
Okay.
Because he did that so that the National Guard actually would pay for his tuition, which was good. So his was extended because of that. And then I moved back from the west side of Michigan to my parents and went to grad school. So grand total, we were apart for 7 years.
Wow.
Doing all that, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
At our wedding, my sister, she's a mathematician, and she actually did the math that we were apart in different states for 90% of our dating relationship. Which is
crazy.
Kind of very crazy.
But still stayed together the entire time.
We definitely had some ups and downs, I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
Which makes sense, because it was really hard. But yeah, I was like, well, you're it. Like, let's just make it work.
So then when you guys got married, what happened next?
His first duty station was in Missouri. So I actually finished my clinicals in Missouri so that we could live together. And then the board exam is national. So all I had to do was find a local testing station. So I finished my clinicals in Missouri, took my board exam, passed on the first try. And then we got married. So that would have been the summer of 18 that I took my board exam, passed. We got married in September.
Okay.
And we got married back home in Michigan.
Okay.
Well, my home. He's from Ohio.
Okay.
But I actually found a airplane hangar that we got married in, which was really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. It was awesome. And it was a storage hangar, so it was white and it was pretty.
Okay.
It wasn't a mechanic hanger,
Right.
which are not white and not pretty. And so, yeah, I'll have to show you some pictures, but yeah. So we got married in September of 18 and then packed up everything and drove everything back to Missouri, and that's where we started our married life.
Yeah.
It was about an hour away from Kansas City at Whiteman.
He was at Whiteman, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Knob Noster.
Yes, we lived in Warrensburg, but yeah, right next to Knob Noster. And then after that, we went to New Mexico, right down by the border in Las Cruces. We lived in Las Cruces, and then he drove through the mountain to get to work at, oh my gosh, what's that base?
Is it?
Holloman.
Holloman, yeah.
Yep, so we were there. And then our first daughter was born in El Paso, which El Paso and Las Cruces and Alamogordo are like a triangle down there. And then when she was 6 months old, he was done with active duty and we moved here.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so where does he, is he still in the Guard now, or?
He's in the Ohio National Guard.
Okay.
Traditional status, so part-time. And then he works full-time contract at Right Pat.
Okay, all right.
Which he works at Right Pat, but his company that he works for is originated out of Virginia. So they do a lot of work there too, but they wanted a Right Pat person.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's cool. So you're close to home.
Yeah.
You know. So where's his family?
He's from Sydney.
Okay. All right. So he's really close then.
Yeah. So it's really nice. I mean, this is Midwest. It feels like home to me too, and it's really nice that I can drive to see my family now, and he can still do what he needs to do, and I'm in healthcare. I can work anywhere.
Yeah.
So it feels really good.
And so you're an RN? Is that?
I'm an OT. I'm in therapy.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. And what do you see? How do you see people? Where do you work? Or?
So in Missouri, I did outpatient in a clinic. A lot of hand therapy, hand and upper extremity injuries. And then in New Mexico, I worked in the hospital, which I really liked. But those are not very flexible. So now that I'm a mom and I live here, I do home care.
Okay.
So I drive around and I make my own schedule, and yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
So you go see your clients.
Yep.
And help them there. That's great.
I like it a lot because in the home you can really see their exact environment and how to make modifications where they're at.
Yeah. Because this is all helping people deal with injuries, but also get back to day-to-day life, right?
Most of my clientele are elderly people who are getting home from the hospital and they're trying to deal with their regular life, how to eat right and take their meds and get moving again.
Yeah, that's important stuff, keeping you out of a rehab center, you know? Yeah.
Yep.
So, wow. So you talked about finding CrossFit. Where were you when you started CrossFit?
Oh, yeah. So after college track, I was like, wow, what am I going to do now? And so it was a very easy segue into CrossFit. I started, I ended college track and undergrad in April of 2013, and I started CrossFit in May in my hometown, right next to Flint, Grand Blanc, Michigan.
Okay.
That's where 810 CrossFit is, which I think Andy knows the owner because he works at HQ too.
Joe DeGane?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my first CrossFit experience.
Oh, really?
Joe did my very first drop-in session. He was really cool.
Really?
Yep.
You know, I've taken the level 1 course 3 times.
Yeah.
And Joe DeGane has been the instructor all 3 times.
How funny.
It's
So yeah,
crazy.
He was my first CrossFit coach, owner, and that was a really great experience. And then...
Man, so you had a great introduction.
I really
you
did.
learned about CrossFit the real way.
Yes, you know? I really did. I didn't realize it at the time because I was a newbie.
Yeah, because he's one of the OGs. I mean...
Yeah, he is. And I also had a really great gym in Missouri, CrossFit Believe. They have a lot of really high-level athletes too. So that was a cool experience. And then not only do I like CrossFit, but it was a great way to meet people when I was active duty because I did it everywhere we went.
Yeah, yeah, that is a great way to walk in, and in a couple of days you got great friends.
Yes.
You know? So yeah, there's nothing like that shared experience of common suffering and you know,
Yep.
So do you remember what your first workout was, or?
Fran,
really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
He had me do Fran my very first day, which I thought was, I mean, I didn't know what it was at the time. I'm like, what are these women name things?
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? And so I had a lot to learn, but yeah.
Did you, could you do pull-ups at that time, or?
I think I didn't know how to kip at that time, so
Okay.
I think I did a band.
Okay, all right.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. But still, I mean, you know.
Yeah. I have no idea what my score was then, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. So were you hooked from the very beginning, or?
pretty much. I love a physical challenge, and I always wanted to learn more about weightlifting. We did some lifting in my track training, but my coach was always not wanting us to get bulky, which isn't good for jumping, which I get that. I don't think I have the ability to get bulky, but that was his thought. So we lifted weight, but we didn't get super heavy.
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to just learn more about that, and I wanted to get stronger. Like, I was used to being light and aerodynamic, and that's always fun, but I wanted to see what else I could do.
Yeah, yeah. So did you kind of focus more on the gymnastics side of things, or were you more drawn towards the weightlifting?
Probably the weightlifting, because I really didn't know how much gymnastics there was going to be. So that was a big learning curve for me, because I'm just probably the opposite of a gymnast. Yeah.
Yeah. But you've got to be good at, I mean, to play volleyball, you've got to be able to control your body through space. So, I mean,
true.
yeah. So that
I had that benefit.
Yeah. I would think that would be an easier transition.
I think I'm very coachable, and I know how to move my body, so that helped.
Yeah.
But there's definitely certain things that took a while for me to learn. Like, I used to catch my snatch out front and fail, and it was very frustrating. But again, I had a lot to learn. So
Yeah, yeah. I remember trying to learn to clean, and people would coach me for years to not bend my elbows, because I always
pull first.
Always pull first, yeah. And I mean, I heard that cue 1,000 times, and then one day it just clicked, and I stopped doing it. You know.
Nice. That's something I caught on pretty early, because we did a lot of cleans in track, because it's explosive and jumping. And I'm not upper extremity dominant, so I wanted to use my legs more, so that helped me.
Yeah. Boy, I would think, for jumping and sprinting especially, that a lot of the Olympic
Hip
lifting
opening.
would be really
Opening.
good,
Yeah.
Really great way to do that.
It was.
So, yeah, I mean, if you've ever seen Phil sprint, okay, for 50 meters,
Sure.
yeah,
It's
he
explosive.
can really explode,
And that you can't teach fast. That's something we talk about in track and volleyball. You can't teach height, and you can't teach fast.
Well, and
So
when steroids first started coming around, it was Ben Johnson really was the first guy, and he was a 100-meter sprinter, and he was like jacked,
Because they used to think that was bad for running, but really it's not.
Yeah. That was where it began to come along. Yeah. So you traveled around. You kept a CrossFit. What was your favorite gym, CrossFit box going to? Did you have one that was?
That's a hard question. But something else that I've learned in my journey is every gym has its own culture, its own vibe.
Yeah.
When I was in Grand Rapids, that gym was all about competing, which I love competing, but I could see where certain people would be very intimidated coming into a gym like that, and it wouldn't be a good fit for some people.
Right.
And so I've made a lot of observations like that. But most of the gyms I've been to, so like in Michigan, in Missouri, in New Mexico, and here are more family oriented, a lot of moms trying to get back in shape, and which I can definitely relate to. So
yeah. But you figured out pretty quickly though that CrossFit was going to be something that you were going to do for the long term. That this was a good substitute for team sports.
It was. I love the community aspect, the social aspect, the competitive aspect too.
Yeah. There might come a time in your life, you look at like Tracy Moorhead, she plays volleyball all the time now,
I've played with Tracy. I've dropped in with her a few times. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So there might become a time when you can kind of get back to a little more.
I think once the dust settles, I'd love to get back into the volleyball gym, because it is a huge piece of who I am too. So
yeah. What about the girls? Have you your oldest daughter is
4.
Okay.
We watch it on TV, and she's interested in watching it, but she's still kind of young to Volleyball is a hard thing to start that young.
Okay.
Because their arms aren't big enough.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of coordination.
Yeah.
It's harder than people think.
Yeah. That's why, I think gymnastics is one of the early things to get kids involved in. Mm-hmm. If I had that to do over, I would have had my boys in gymnastics from the very beginning.
I've thought about that. And I've talked to Terry so she has classes of all ages. Yeah. So I'll be honest, it's the logistical piece of, okay, how do I fit another thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So that's the part that I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's always a challenge, and especially, like, I was talking with Cassie about this recently, because all of her kids are so active.
Yeah.
And it's like constantly juggling, who's going where, and yeah.
At least some of them can drive, but still, that's a lot to manage.
Yeah. Even that doesn't sometimes solve a lot of things, if you still got a limited number of cars. It's
True.
like now the oldest one has got the car, and it's like, well, no, you need to get back over here. And yeah. Life is all about logistics.
It is.
So what has surprised you the most about dealing with kids like that? The balance to fitness with kids.
I mean, I knew it was going to be a challenge because everybody told me it would be, but I didn't fully understand until I was in it. Because there's some stages of kid life where they can just chill and you can do something, but that's very short, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because my 4-year-old, she could probably sit with a tablet, but my baby, she's 1 and she's on the move. Like, she wouldn't sit still, and she's not supposed to.
Yeah.
So it's such a balance of like, how do I do what I need to do to keep myself sane, but not take away from them and their childhood. So.
Yeah. And now, so your husband works on the base physically in an office, right?
Yes. There's some things he can do at home, but there's certain networks that he has to access on the base. So his job is pretty demanding, but it's challenging and he loves it.
Yeah.
And he supports us well.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not resentful of that, but it's mostly just a lot of times I just have to figure it out.
Yeah. And what does he do for like fitness activity or?
We're working on that. Yeah. That's been something I didn't expect because how we met, and he kind of fell off the wagon, and I'm trying to get him back on the wagon. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, bring a friend week is coming up,
Right.
So.
I know.
But that gets to be a challenge too,
It is. And sometimes he gets frustrated that he's like, well, I can't just go and do something. I'm like, I know, we have to plan it out. And I told him, I'm like, okay, you go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen Andrew and Jess, sometimes he'll come in one day and then she'll come in the next day,
Right.
Yeah. And, but they still got the thing right now where their baby she'll stay in the stroller and just kind of watch them, and she's cool doing that,
Yeah.
And that'll help you for a while, but.
Right. I'm pretty astounded.
That doesn't last forever.
I'm pretty astounded that Declan will still sit in the stroller.
I know Declan is great.
That's awesome because when Thea was that age, there was no way she would be in the stroller.
Oh no, no, my kids would have never sat.
I know
like that. No.
So, but every kid's different, and.
Yeah, and maybe I don't know. Maybe part of it is having grown up kind of like that's natural thing, So. Which I always like the idea of, like kids coming in to watch their parents exercise.
I like that. I like that I'm setting an example for them. And I don't bring them in all the time. I usually will look at the workout. If there's jump ropes or barbells flying, that's not safe. And I don't want to cause issues for other people because they're trying to get their workout in. Absolutely. But there are some days where I'm like, okay, well, this isn't a very busy class and it's not barbells flying about. And so I have brought them in probably a handful of times. And just because if they don't come, they won't get used to it.
Yeah.
So that's another part of it too. You
gotta grow up learning that every day you need to do some work, some sort of work, to keep your body fit. And
that's part of it too. Not only getting them used to the environment, but setting an example for them.
Yeah. I think it's a cultural thing for girls too, because when I was a kid, girls weren't intended to do things like that.
It's changed.
And now it's more common. Girls can play sports. They can be active and fit, and they can lift weights and be strong. I think it's an important thing too.
It is. I agree.
So, so let's talk about. So you had your second child, okay, and then that took you away from the gym for a little bit. So talk about that experience.
Yeah, she was born last summer, and I was in newborn bliss for a few months, which it was bliss. Like I said, I missed out on that piece with my first daughter because she was in the NICU for 3 months. And then when she finally got home, it wasn't bliss. It was stress and doctor's appointments. She had appointments 3 days a week.
Okay.
And where we were, I had to drive an hour to get to the specialist. And I was pumping, and those logistics were stressful.
Yeah.
I still bonded well with her and truly enjoyed her, but it was just so different.
Yeah.
And so the second time around, I'm glad I was brave enough to try, and it's been so different. She was 39 weeks, didn't even want to come out, which was great.
Yeah.
And then I loved that time with her, and I didn't want to rush it at all. Like, I missed my friends in the gym, but I'm never going to get this time back. So that was the beginning of it, where I was like, I cannot rush this, and I wanted to be with her and nurse her, which I did, which was really cool. And then, let me think, back to work. So I went back to work when she was 3 months old, which went well. Yeah. I mean, I kind of cried, but she was fine. So that made me feel better that she was fine. And then I had to get used to work and kids logistics, which was a learning curve. And then, I don't know, it's just been one thing after the other. And then my husband travels a lot, and I had to potty train my older kid, which was a whole thing. And then we found out she had celiac disease. So all of these things were happening. And then I finally told Tyler, I'm like, I need to go back to the gym because I need to have this for myself. Yeah. And he obviously understood, and he's very supportive. And so I just was like, well, I'm just going to have to make it work. Sometimes I'm only here 2 days a week, but I just am doing my best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's physical, but it's also emotional and mental, right?
Very much so, because it's a mental break for me. Like, I leave work and I come here and I try to turn my brain off. That's another thing where I like to come and participate. I probably could be a coach because I have the knowledge and the passion, but right now I want to turn my brain off and participate. And so I like that. And then seeing my friends, there's a great community here is big. And obviously the physical aspect. But it's so, how do I word this? I mean, and it's hot and it's humid, so that takes energy out of me too. But there's days where I can't really push and give it all I got, because then I have to go home and I got to cook dinner and I got to bathe the kids, and I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And so it's such a different mindset.
Yeah. So
of how I approach a workout.
So how do you learn? Hey, some days I got to do my best, and this might be what it is. You're getting 50% today.
I tell myself, okay, I'm here to move and activate some muscles, and that's my goal.
Yeah.
So I wish I had more specific goals right now, but some days that's it.
So if because you've had a competitive outlook before.
Yeah.
How do you put that away? How do you turn that off?
It's hard to turn it completely off, because I will always know what I used to do. And I will get back there, but the build-up is going to take a while.
Yeah, yeah. I've told people before, I have a very competitive streak, okay? And if I don't turn that off, I will make myself miserable, okay? I would absolutely hate coming here because I'd never meet my expectations.
You'd be too hard on yourself, and you'd push others away.
Yeah.
My mom has a hard time with that, so I've kind of watched her deal with that, and that's probably helped me too. Well, of course, I do get hard on myself sometimes, but I'm like, well, I can't be that miserable about it. Can't take all the fun out of it.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't learn to get around that, then, and I've seen people that have come into CrossFit before, and they couldn't do things that they wanted to be able to do, and they just quit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no.
That's hard.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
So what do you think... like your old PRs, do you look at that, or?
I always know the numbers because they're burned in my brain. And I truly think I'll get back to that. I just have to try to give myself grace along the way, because there's days where I don't sleep well, or I don't get enough water, I don't get enough food, because I have to. I kind of try to take that into consideration when I walk through the door too. Like, I'm already hungry.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know. So I'll always remember my PRs, but I try to tell myself this is my post-baby PRs. So,
Yeah. I mean, I think it kind of feels good sometimes when you get kind of in the ballpark of something that you've done previously. You think,
because I was able to get it pretty much almost 100% back after Thea, my older daughter. So at least I know I've done it before.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think about, what would you say success looks like for you now in the gym?
Honestly, if I eat enough, I feel so much better and I can push myself a little harder. So I'm working through that, which, again, going back to the logistics thing, I try to prep stuff so I can just grab it and eat it, especially with hungry kids. That's been my main strategy with that, but it doesn't always go perfect because I have to have time to go to the store, meal prep stuff, cook it, have it in the fridge. So that's been one of my goals of how to conquer this. Even when I told myself when I came back 2 months ago, I'm like, this is how I'm going to have to do this.
Yeah.
Because going from work, gym, picking the kids up, I can't then start cooking. It's too late. I'm hungry. The kids are hungry. It's no bueno. So we're very much a leftover family. I prep a big stuff on Sunday, we eat on it, and then I cook another meal in the middle of the week, and then that's how I conquer food.
Yeah, that's a great way to. That's my wife and I do a lot the same thing, you know, because when we don't eat nearly as much as we did before, and so like we'll make like a pot roast, but we'll eat on that for like 3 days afterwards, you know. So
it saves so much time.
It does, yeah, yeah.
And plus, I want to teach that to my kids too. Not only cooking healthy and knowing what's in your food, and that all has to be learned.
Yeah.
I didn't learn meal prep, and I didn't learn meal prep and about zoning and macros until I started CrossFit.
Yeah.
And it also makes me think back on like high school and college athletics. If I ate better, how much better could I have? I mean, obviously I can't go back, but I probably could have been better.
Yeah, you know, that's another great lesson for kids to learn when they're eating real food, you know.
So that's not only with my daughter having celiac disease, and I tested positive, so I might have it, which was kind of a plot twist. So, I mean, we're gluten-free for her anyway, because I'm not going to eat something in front of her. So that's been a learning curve too that delayed me coming back. Was like, I'm grateful that I already know a lot about food and I already cook our food. If I didn't have those habits, this gluten-free transition would have been so much harder.
Yeah,
like if we were a drive-through family, this would be horrible.
Yeah.
But I've been able to take it in stride and basically embracing it because it's healthier anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, at the end of the day, it's typically more financially, you know, responsible.
Yes.
You know, if you buy actual food and cook it yourself, you know.
And like, yes, some of the gluten-free options are a little more expensive, but I build my meals based off chicken and vegetables and rice. And that's not as expensive.
It's not a bad thing.
Because if I go and buy all the gluten-free bread and all the gluten-free everything, I won't be able to afford it.
Yeah,
it's too much.
Right. So what do you say to other people that they come back to the gym and maybe they're frustrated about not being back where they want to be? Have you had any of those conversations with people?
Yeah. I think nobody wants unsolicited advice. I had to learn that. But I guess just knowing that you're not alone and we can struggle through it together. Because I know there's quite a few postpartum moms here too. Yep. So that helps me too, knowing I'm not alone and just have to start somewhere, which is cliche, but it's true.
Yeah, that's important. Sometimes it's not, trying to solve somebody else's problem because you don't have the solution.
I had to learn that the hard way.
Okay. It's just that, hey, look, I'm
listen.
thinking about you, and I know
Yes.
you're going through a tough time, and just,
Yes.
I've been through it too.
That's so much better than somebody telling you what to do.
Yeah. Which, people are trying to be helpful.
They are. They are. And I
Yeah.
could see that it comes from a place of love, but sometimes it's not as helpful.
Yeah. When I was going through tough times myself, just hearing people say, hey, I'm thinking about you, was such a great help. It seems cliche, and I've said it 1,000 times myself and thought, it's,
But being thought of, and, it's bigger than you, you're affecting other people, there's something to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said something in the pre-responses that you're a new person now, but in a wonderful way. What do you mean by that?
I listened to a mental health podcast, and the host on the podcast, he talks about how basically like when you get married and you have a kid, you're not the old you anymore. You are a new person. You have to figure out your new life. Because a lot of people, they fall into that trap of like, well, I want to be how I used to be. I want to like how you were when you were dating and when you were married without kids. That's gone.
Yeah.
And I loved that concept because then it's like, cool, move forward. Like stop trying to attain that because it's gone. And so it helped. I use the same concept for like, I'm not pre-baby anymore. That old me is gone and that's fine. I love being a mom. It's been one of my hardest, but one of my favorite jobs.
Yeah.
And so I just have to figure out fitness and my goals now.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're setting such a great example for your girls, So, so how does do you think sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves to have measurable success?
I've seen postpartum moms that they go back really early, and I think it's like their way of trying to maybe be their old self or like I don't know. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I've seen people go back really early, and I try not to judge because it's not not my situation at all, but it's not what I wanted to do. Even though it was hard, I still wanted to make sure I enjoyed that part of my life because I'm never going to get it back.
Yeah.
I think right now, like I mentioned earlier, I don't have super specific goals right now. I think if I tried to make it too specific and work towards it right now, I might fail because right now I'm just trying to get here.
Yeah, right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So once the dust settles, so to speak, and I can get here more consistently, maybe I can do that.
Yeah. Well, it might be the measure of success right now is just
being
attendance.
here is my measure of success.
Yeah.
And eating enough to be able to perform is kind of my measure right now. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you didn't really have any specific goals right now. Is that you not really focused on that?
Like not only getting here, but I think I'm more focused on muscle activation, getting my stuff turned back on, so to speak, which may sound weird, but that's just how I think of it.
Yeah.
I'm not as focused on my endurance and metabolic performance part right now because I really don't have any endurance. I kind of want to get my muscles turned back on and go from there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's times where I'll probably move slower and focus on my muscle contractions versus trying to rush through something. That's probably a big goal of mine right now.
Yeah. So let's do a couple of quick questions. What's your favorite CrossFit movement?
Oh, I love me some wall balls.
Really? That might be the first.
I do. I joke about it, but there's not a lot of tall person things in CrossFit. So wall balls, rope climbs, and box jumps would probably be the tall person things. And sprinting, of course. I love sprinting.
Okay. All right.
Anytime there's shuttle runs.
I've said to Greg before that wall ball standards should be measured from your outreach. Okay,
that's not fair.
Yeah. He vehemently opposed to that. Yeah. So,
give us our ball balls.
the movement you wish you would disappear forever.
I don't enjoy thrusters.
Okay.
Which is weird because I love wall balls.
It's basically a thruster, yeah.
So if you can figure that out, let me know. Yeah, I usually hate thrusters. What else? I'm not very good at the ski erg.
Okay.
This is the other gyms I went to didn't have them. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I don't really have muscle memory for them.
Right. So
I try them here and I feel as though it doesn't go well.
You got to get some experience on it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tall person thing too.
So maybe I could embrace that, but I kind of feel like a baby deer when I do it because I don't know how to do it very well. But, gosh, what else? Handstand, push-ups.
Yeah.
Not my jam.
Yeah. Sprint or long run, but you already said sprint?
I'm a sprinter.
Yeah.
People ask me if I'm a runner, and I usually will politely say no. I do not enjoy running. Mm-hmm. The longest I've ever done in a competition is a 400 meter.
Really?
That's not running, that's a sprint. I mean, heck, nowadays the 800 and the mile are sprints. If you watch the Olympics, the mile is insane.
Yeah, there's guys running marathons under 2 hours now.
Insane.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the guy was averaging like 420 miles or something like that.
That's insane.
It is.
That's truly insane.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid and the first guy ran a 4-minute mile, and it was like a big deal,
It is a big deal.
Now it's like,
That's crazy.
Best reason to go to the gym when you don't feel like going?
Oh gosh, I think it was last week. It was like a skill work day.
Yep.
I think it was handstand push-ups.
Mm-hmm. It was different versions of
core
handstand. Yep.
And a core thing. And I looked at that and I was like, ugh. But it was a day in my schedule of the week that I could come.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, just make the best of it. And I made the best of it. I worked on my push-up strength and my core strength, so I had to chalk it up as a win.
Yeah. I programmed that workout, by the way.
Come on, Daryl.
And I can't do handstand push-ups.
That's so funny.
So, yeah. All right. So if you could give one piece of advice to an athlete listening who's struggling because they're not the person that they used to be, what would you tell them?
I think what I have to tell myself, like what I mentioned earlier, that the old you is kind of gone. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it helped me conceptualize the stage of life that I'm in is totally new, and I have to embrace that and forge ahead, because I'm not gonna ever be the 23-year-old college athlete again. Mm-hmm. It was awesome and I really enjoyed it, but that part is done.
Yeah. It's a new you. It's a great you.
Yeah, basically. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ashlyn, hey, thanks very much for coming and sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having me.
If you got something of value from this episode, share it with your crew. Do you want to train with us? Then head over to bomberscrossfit.com and see what we're building. Stronger every day, better every rep. We'll see you in the gym.